What's up, guys? It's the Young Avell here, back at it with another video. You can see it's a very special video. I got the queen, well, Cora's the queen, my Brazilian rainbow boa, but this is the other queen, Lakshmi. I got her out, and you can see her temperament is just the best. I've had her for about, let's see, I got her in January, and it is now April, so January, that's almost 4.5 months now. So she's kind of gotten used to being taken out. She's always had a good temperament. She was a little shy in the beginning, but this species is known for being shy, and she still really doesn't, like to be bothered. But once she's out, she's sweet and she's fine. As you can see, she doesn't mind exploring. She's not running all over the place, so you can see she's not really that agitated. She has a beautiful coloring. She's about 1 year old, I believe, a little over one. And she's the emerald tree boa. So I have been looking, I kind of had to piece together her ideal, how to really take care of her. It wasn't like Cora, my Brazilian rainbow boa. Cora was easy to find information, feeding chart guides and stuff like that. And so I compiled it, and now I'm gonna do my best to share with you guys. Oh, I have a rat, by the way, so you're gonna get to see a live feeding as well. I'm gonna share with you guys how I take care of Lakshmi, because she's pooped, she shed, and so that means she's hydrated, and she's fairly happy, she's fairly chill, as you can see. Say hi, baby. So you can see, so emerald tree boas, this is come in two variations. She is the northern variation, the other one is the Amazon tree basin. And Amazon tree basins are way more expensive, and they get a little bit longer, I believe. She will get to probably 5 to 6 feet, which is the same as Cora, my Brazilian rainbow boa. And I'm cool with having 2 5 to 6 feet girls. It's great, I'm cool with that. Cora I take out, to socialize and stuff. Sometimes I take her to the kava bar, but Lakshmi I'll never do that with her, because she is just she's an arboreal species, meaning she's not really used to being bothered and stuff like that by nature, so I'm not gonna take her out. So Lakshmi is about a little over 1, I would say. She might be close to 1.5. This species is very slender. You want them slender like that. You can kind of see her muscle striations, which is good. Now, the issues with these snakes is that they don't get adequate hydration. So this area right here is their cloaca, and you'll see there's been times where I have fed Lakshmi 4 meals without her pooping, and I can see, because I had just gotten her, so I was trying to figure out how I can when is she gonna poop and all that stuff. And her cloaca got backed up, which is this species is known for, because they don't hydrate like other snakes, where they drink out of a bowl. She drinks off of her scales. So what I did was, I'm gonna show you her setup as well. I set up a sprinkler system in there, where every other day I turn it on, and the water mists over her, and I've caught her drinking off of her scales. And I'm like, okay, so she's used to drinking off of her scales. She's a scale drinker. Cool. All right, so at least I know that she's getting hydrated. So yesterday when I did it, I leave my house to 84 degrees, 83 degrees when I go to work. And for Cora, she's about 85 degrees the daytime. Same thing for Lakshmi. Around 84 degrees is a good temperature. So the water that I have that's in the sprinkler system naturally gets heated up like that. So I turned it on when I got back home, and lo and behold, I had fed Lakshmi 3 meals this time. So I'm like, okay, after the third, I'm not gonna feed her again until she poops, because I could see it wasn't really backed up, but it was getting there. So lo and behold, I turned the sprinkler on, and she pooped right in front of me. My lights were on and everything. So I highly recommend, if you have an emerald tree boa, set up a sprinkler system in there, or a rain chamber. It's basically a rain chamber, and the warm temperature is good for them. It stimulates their body to poop. So that was cool. That was the first time I ever seen that. So I'm like, all right, cool. She's great. She's healthy. The rain chamber is good because it keeps it the humidity up, and she's had great sheds. She shed twice for me so far in the 4 months that I've had her, and she's pooped twice for me, twice or 3 times the 4 months that I've had her. So like I said, you could see she's very nice. The emerald tree boas are actually, they have the longest fangs of any non-venomous snake, so a lot of people are afraid of them and stuff, and you know, don't want to get bitten and stuff like that. But as long as you don't bother them, and you know your snakes well, you know, they get used to it. And that's why I'm getting her used to being handled while she's young, so that way when she's big, I don't really got to worry about that. So yeah, so I want to show you guys her enclosure. So I'm gonna put her back up. What else do I want to tell you about this before? So you can see she has big heat sensing pits. She has some of the biggest, I believe, of any snake, like the most pronounced. Yeah, you can see them really well. Yeah, she has very big heat sensing pits. They say that the white spots on her, white crosses, whatever, are there to mimic scattered sunlight, which is good, which is cool. So I'm gonna show you her setup. So I have Lakshmi in I believe this is like a 2 feet by, I don't know the exact measurements, but basically with this species, you definitely want to have different size perches, because if you consistently handle them and you're taking them off their perch, which you kind of don't want to do, their little tails will develop a kink. Lakshmi is doing great though, because I don't handle her. I handle her enough for her to get comfortable with it, but I know she doesn't, you know, she's not like Cora, so I don't make it like a normal thing every week or even every 2 weeks. So I have this perch right here that I've hung up some, you could see I put some ties up here, and I kind of just hang it. Right here I have a little one in the front. She hangs on this one majority. So it's interesting. I hear that these species, even, you know, they get heavy, they will prefer the little perches. And then I have another one in the back, a bendy vine that you could see. And then you could see I set up the sprinkler system right here, the rain chamber, in her enclosure, so she can get hydrated, and she can you know, the humidity is there, so I don't have to take her out in order for her to shed and poop and stuff like that. Because what I've heard is that other people that keep emerald tree boas, they have a separate rain chamber. And so when I first got her, I didn't have this, and I was kind of just waiting to see if she pooped and all that stuff, and it was taking a while. But I'm like, let me just put one in here. So, and then I found out she uses it for hydration, and it's just better if you can insert it. So I have the little little branches as well, and I have them tied up. I have some covering, some foliage covering. That's where she gets heated up. There's like I have a heat lamp right here, so you definitely want to have it only in one side so they can thermoregulate. You know, normally I keep the hot spot at around 91, 80, 88 to 91 degrees. That's from what I found is good. I got this little thing right here, so it's like a little heat gun. So I put it on her, you know, 83 degrees, that's what we want. It's on her right now. 83, yeah, that's what we want. You know, 76, there's temperature gradients, so that's what you want. You want to be able to give her, or give your snake a temperature gradient. So she rarely hangs out there, and
but she still has good digestion, so I know she's smart. She thermoregulates herself. Sometimes she'll hang over on the side, and but mostly she's right here. So I have that. I have the top option, top bendy, and then I have this removable perch close to her heat source, the middle perch, and then I have another perch in the back, which she rarely goes, but she's on it when she hunts. So, and then I have this one as well, where she just climbs around. You want to make it good. She's gonna they're gonna spend a majority of their life in here, so you want to make it as kind of cool as you can. I got some covering for her here. I put a water perch, a water bowl close to her hanging perch. Still never uses it, which is fine, but whatever. I have both water things here just in case, I want to be a good snake dad and give her options. So that's pretty much what I have for her. Oh, okay, so let me keep on going. So this is some sheet moss that I have that I keep damp just to make sure the humidity is good. I got the temperature gauge right there, 79 degrees. The sun's going down, so I'm making it a little cooler. On the outside I have the it's 80 degrees, like in the middle area. It says 44 degrees because I've had this open and I had her out, but usually it's the humidity is, I don't let it get past 68. I like to keep it around 77 to 99% humidity. Cora, my Brazilian, she stays at like 88 to 100% humidity. So I feed her right now. She is feeding, so this is the information I was trying to find. I feed her, she gets one adult, well now she's getting like weaned rats, not like, this will be her second weaned rat today. But before that I was giving her one adult mouse every week, every 7 days. So now that she's on rats, I'm gonna move her to every 10 days, and just take it from there. So the rule of thumb, don't feed them a prey size that's you want to be a little bit bigger, so it leaves a little bit of a bulge in her belly. Yeah, so I feed her right now she's getting a weaned rat, small, the smallest amount of rat, basically a little bit bigger than an adult mouse. That's where she's at right now, because adult mice are just, they're like okay, they're okay, but she's getting fed every 10 days, so she can handle a rat, the smallest rat. So you just do that, right? Okay, so that's your feeding. You don't want to feed any bigger than, you want to do a little bit bigger than the biggest part of her body. So the biggest part of her is, I would say right here, this part right here. So the biggest part right there, you don't want it to be like a huge bulge. So yeah, that'll hold her off for 10 days. She'll be good with that. She'll be growing well with that. You have the sprinkler, you install the rain chamber. She's gonna be, more than likely they're gonna drink off of their scale, so that's how they stay hydrated. You want to be able to have a perch, close water bowl, just in case they get curious enough to check out fresh water there. Change the water frequently. I also have this Rep to Safe, water conditioner. Have a big bowl just to also assist with the humidity. Make sure you have your gauges on point. 79 degrees. She's chilling right now. She's warming up. And I'm gonna put the rat in here. You guys are gonna get a nice live feeding video as well. So let's do that. First, I'm gonna just keep the humidity on point in here. Now for the rats, I keep it on there. Yeah, I got a little vision board popping, you heard? For the rats and the mice that I use, I put calcium on them. Here it is. This is the one that I'm using now, phosphorus free with vitamin D. Okay, she's picked up the scent. It's pretty fast. So yeah, normally they hang down like that. There you go, she's smelling it. Got it. That must have been 35 seconds before that mouse was sent to the spiritual platform. See, she hasn't even released her grip yet. This is why it's good to have little perches. So their feet, I was gonna say their feet. Their tail can do that full double coil like that, you know, stay away from the kinks. If she was to always wrap up on that, her tail wouldn't develop that well. So yeah, this is the smallest rat. Basically a little bit bigger than an adult mouse. But I went there, I was like, adult mice are not gonna really leave that much of a bulge. So I got a baby rat that's just smaller than an adult mouse. And so every three feedings, that's when I'll stop feeding and I'll wait for a poop. But I'll make sure to continue to, you know, spray her every 2 days so she can get adequate hydration. I keep that on at night. The overall ambient temperature drops to around 77, 78, and she just hangs out right here. And yeah, just make sure you have those things covered. If you want to handle your emerald tree boa, I would do it, you know, once every 2.5 weeks, maybe once every 3. You know, the less the better, as least as you can do it to get them acclimated with being handled. Preferably when they're young. Preferably you have a young emerald. See, cause she's walking, she walks her fangs over the food. Yeah, she got to grip that. Yep, now that thing's gone. Good job, baby. So yeah, that was pretty much the complete guide to emerald tree boas being happy and healthy. It's the most important thing, keeping them healthy. So yeah, you guys have any questions, just drop the questions in the comments, and hopefully this was helpful. This is Lakshmi, the second queen to Queen Cora, my Brazilian. Alright guys, peace.